What's poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're taking a look at another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle film review. We've taken a look at most of Turtle Media on the channel, and I'm going to keep chugging on until I've completed I don't know how much there is. I've completed the Turtles films on this channel. I am going to get through them all the shows, all the films, all the short films, all the spin-offs. I'm going to be watching them, reviewing them, and talking about them on here because I know you guys love it, and I enjoy the Turtles as well. So let's get into it with Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles Forever. It is a 2009 short film, which was straight to DVD and put on Nickelodeon itself. I did see this in like a charity shop, and I did pick up the DVD, and I watched it quite often, and I really enjoyed it. It featured the 2012, nope, not 2012, that's a lie. It featured the 2003 Turtles, which were some of my favorite Turtles. I really enjoyed these Turtles, and it's the ones that I grew up with, being born in 2003, and it lasted until 2009, so growing up with these guys, and it's the modern gritty Ninja Turtles must team up with their classic cartoon counterparts to stop two Shredders and their plans of multi-dimensional scale. So basically, we have the classic Turtles, the 1980 Turtles, coming through a portal to the 2003 Turtles, and they are captured by the Dragon Clan, the Purple Dragons, and then they are taken to get their blood sort of pumped in the milking machine. It's always about a milking machine, god damn it. And then the 2003 Turtles get a distress signal on their phone, seeing that the Purple Dragons are on the move. So they go and investigate, and they see the Turtles hooked up to a machine. They save them, and they go back to the 2003 lair. They talk to Splinter. Donnie found out that there is two bombs that are going to go off in each dimension, so they have to go to the Channel 6 building in the 2003 and the 1987 shows. Both shows have a bomb on the Channel 6 station, so they go and stop it, and then they go underground to find the Technodrome in the 1980s Technodrome in the 2003 Underground, with both Shredders and both Kraggs from both shows. So there is a lot of villains here. We even have Bebop and Rocksteady making a reappearance, and the Purple Dragons do turn into Raza and the Turtle one from the 1990 movie. I forget what the turtle's called. And they have to go to the Turtle Prime Dimension, where all the turtles originate from, the Prime Dimension. So if this dimension falls, all of the dimensions fall. But it's the original comic book dimension, and the turtles have to fight the turtles from that dimension because the Turtle Prime don't trust the new turtles. And then all 12 turtles eventually work together to stop Shredder and the Technodrome and save all the turtles all across dimensions. And I think that's really cool. It's to do with dimensions, it's to do with sort of like portals and dimensions and different iterations of the turtles, and I really like that. And we take some sort of inspiration from the movies, and it's just so awesome. We had a similar special episode for the 2012 Turtle series. Again, there is a lot of dates here, so I am sorry if I do get any of these wrong. But the 1980 Turtles do come into the 2012 series, episode 10, season 4, with a special episode where they work together and fight the Shredder, and tie a claws in it and everything like that. But getting back to Turtles Forever, I think it's really good. The animation style doesn't change, and I think that's pretty cool. Like, we have just the 90s Turtles looking out of place in the 2003 Turtles world because their animation style doesn't change, and they just look out of place, and you can tell that they're not supposed to be there, and I think that works really well. Because what they don't do in the 2012 series is they make the turtles fit the dimension, and I think that's an issue. because I just prefer it when it looks like they're out of place and it looks like that they shouldn't be there because their animation styles are so different and they look so different. So it just makes them look out of place and it sort of proves that they're from a different dimension and stuff isn't going the way it should. The sort of dynamic between the turtles is the 1990 turtles are really goofy and silly, and the 2003 turtles are really serious and gritty and sort of more violent, if I'm going to be honest. And Raph gets annoyed by the 1990 turtles all the time. That is the whole thing. The 1990 turtles just seriously annoy Raph the entire time. Michelangelo gets upset when they have to go, but it is understandable. And these turtles from the 2003 do end up going to the 1990 world and getting really confused because they don't really know what's going on here. And again, it's not their world, so they don't really know how it works. And the show more or less follows the 2003 turtles, with the 1990 turtles and Turtle Primes being backup side characters. Again, this was made in 2009, so it would have been part of the 2003 Turtles story. And there is so many characters here to juggle around and to play with and to bounce off each other, and I think it works so well. All the characters have a purpose, all the characters have a role, they all have speaking lines, they're all in it for a good majority. Some characters do get overshadowed, but the overshadowed characters aren't the turtles. It's Casey, April, Karai, but even then they still have stuff to do. The Purple Dragons, they're in it all the way through. They are working for Shredder, they get mutantized, and they work for Shredder, and they just add some more danger and threat to it. We also have Karai saving the turtles at one point, having a change of heart and questioning her father's actions. So we have character development, we have really good pacing, we have uses for each character. There is no character in this sort of movie that isn't needed or isn't used or utilized for a specific purpose. So everyone is needed. There is no character here that you could get rid of that would make the movie go the exact same, and everyone is needed, and I like that. We have the 1990 April and the 2003 April here as well. The 1919 April was in the Channel 6 building reporting all of this. And again, with the 1990s Turtles, they're just more silly, goofy, and wacky compared to the 2003. So it does show this big sort of shift in the Turtles. And it does have a really big contrast with the gritty, angry, more serious tone that the 2003 have to the goofy sort of 1990 Turtles. And it does put a contrast, and it does put quite a bit of strain on some of the characters due to them not working together well, working in different styles. And it just shows that by the end, when they're working together as a solid team, that no matter what, the Turtles find a way, and the Turtles can work with pretty much anything they get given. The Turtles come out on top no matter what. And it is called Turtles Forever because, again, with each new iteration of the Turtles, they're added into this big dimensional sort of shell of Turtles. So Turtles will be around forever. They will keep being new iterations of the Turtles. And I've seen people asking for a Turtles Forever Part 2, where they have the 2012 Turtles and the Rise of the Turtles and the movie Turtles all together in one. I think that would be really chaotic and really a really full movie, which I think would be hard to digest and sort of take in just because of how much would be going on, how many characters there is. Because you've got to think, with each iteration of the Turtle, that's 4 new characters to add in. And I think having 12 of them, they did it so perfectly well, and they paced it so nicely that each new time we got introduced to some new Turtles, we got familiar with them, and we got time to sort of understand their dynamic and how they work together. And especially with people not really knowing the 1990s Turtles in 2009, the new generation of kids that were growing up with the Turtles, they had the 2003, so they didn't have a clue who the 1990s were. It was sort of a sort of gift for the parents to sort of get them interested and watch it with the kids and make them want to watch it. The comic dimension, I think, is one of the coolest dimensions. It's all in black and white, and the Turtles are just much more angrier, grittier than the 2003, so it puts an even stronger dynamic on it, because we have these sort of really edgy, dark Turtles going up against the really colourful, bright, happy Turtles that we see from 2003 and 1990. The animation style is phenomenal. We have each iteration of the Turtles having their own unique art style, like in Spider-Verse, where each dimension has its own art style, but it's staying true to the art style of the show of that time period, and I really like that. So, top-notch animation right there, especially for the time of it coming out in like 2009, where there is 3 different animation styles to work on for one movie, and you got to make sure it's all right. I think this is like a really good sort of movie, and I think a lot more people will appreciate it now that Spider-Verse has come out, because I don't see many people talking about this film. I don't see many people really speaking of this film like ever. I forgot it existed until I saw it on DVD in my collection, because again, DVDs are now so outdated that no one buys them anymore, no one even looks at them. So me seeing this one going through all my old DVDs because I'm moving house, I saw it and I'm like, oh shit, I remember this was epic. And now I'm here making a film review talking about it to try and get people to watch it if they haven't seen it, or just hit some nostalgia buttons with people. Just, God, them old Turtles were so good. The 2003 Turtles are such like underrated Turtles and underspoken about. It's always about the 2012 and the 1990s and the rise of the Turtles that get spoken about. So I feel sorry for the 2003. They did get 7 to 8 seasons, so not 78, 7 to 8. So I think it did pretty well, and it lasted longer than some of the other Turtles that we've had. Like the 2012 one only got 5. The Rise of the Turtles only got 2. So it is the best Turtles to ever go, and like it got the best ratings because of how many seasons it got and how much they continued it. So by TV standards, this is some of the best iteration of the Turtles going. And I think it deserves to be talked about more. It deserves a little bit more respect because it is really good. Even with the contrasting villains, with the sort of dark, edgy, angry Shredder compared to the 1990s Shredder and the 1990s Krang, because they're just goofing off for most of it, and the 2003 Shredder is being serious and trying to get things done, trying to destroy the Turtles, and the other ones are just making jokes and playing about with it, taking their time, biding their time. And you can just see from this image on screen alone the dynamic, because the Turtles on top, 1990 Turtles, they're laughing, they're thinking it's funny. Whereas the 2003 Turtles on the bottom, they look annoyed, angry, and miserable at the fact that they have to work with these numbskulls. But it just shows, because by the end of it, they accept them, they work with them, and they're all nicely together. The voice acting is good as well, because we get the nostalgia of the 1990s Turtles voices being brought back. And I just think that's so cool. And a little turtle fact here. The 1990s Raphael, the red one, also plays the 2012 purple one, Donnie. So he's voiced 2 turtles a decade or 2 apart, which I think is absolutely incredible. He also voices Yakko Warner from Animaniacs, just another fact to throw in here. But we have all the original voice actors back for this, and I think it's incredible how they managed it. So the voice acting is amazing. I just love the like 2003 voices for the Turtles. I don't know why. I just think that's like them and the 2012 Turtles. Them 2 voices are how I imagine the Turtles to sound, and that is like the definition of turtle voices for me. Because that's what I grew up with. That's what it's sort of set in stone in my mind, what the Turtles should sound like. But again, with Mutant Mayhem, that shattered my expectation of what their voices should sound like. And the new Mutant Mayhem voices have grown on me. I will give it that. For 1 hour and 47 minutes, I think they fit so much in. And, you know, even me giving you a quick overview of the story, I missed some stuff that happened in the film. And everything is important. Every little detail is important. And it just goes to show how much thought and care that they put into this. And they wanted to make it good. And people know it's good because they're wanting a number 2. People are wanting a number 2 with the new Turtles, but I just don't think that would work. Just due to how many new Turtles there is, and the sort of contrast between each Turtles is that significant that it could cause major issues between all the Turtles here. Like, I think the contrast would be significant, and I could be wrong, but I don't think anything would be good as the original Turtles Forever. I'm sorry. This film was just so good. It was Spider-Verse with the Turtles before Spider-Verse ever existed, and it is just perfect. There's nothing I'd change about it. It is one of the more better films, and it is carried by nostalgia. And even without the nostalgia factor, it is still a good film on its own. So I am going to give it a solid 8 out of 10, because that's what it deserves. It deserves the 8 out of 10. It is one of the higher up films, in my opinion. One of the better films that are out there, and that I do recommend you go watch it. Again, you can buy it from YouTube. You can buy it from Amazon Prime. I'm pretty sure it's on Paramount because they have like a connection with Nickelodeon. So if you do want to go watch it, Paramount Plus is probably your best bet. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this YouTube video. See you all next one. Have a nice day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe. Just a quick content announcement. I am on Cameo now, so if you do want to get me to say anything you want, it is in my link tree in my bio, so definitely go check out my Cameo. And if you do want me to review any other films, shows, or anime, please do leave them in the comments below.